Alright lads, so today we are jumping back into Guild Quest. This time around we do have access once more to the Ranged Nightmare Human Guild Quest. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure why they've done this because it's only in this phase, but this was like the very first like Nightmare 600 million plus GQ that we have gotten. And with that, one thing I actually really did like was that they gave you a normal attack damage bonus. Even if it's only 1.1 times, it did in a way help us out, even if little, against the amount of HP these enemies do have. But for some reason, it's only seen in the Ichigo and Rukia week, which in all honesty are probably the 2 weeks that need it the least. Because these weeks don't have it, and these weeks also don't have it, so I'm surprised they brought that back. But hey, I guess it's set in stone that every time this GQ comes back, normal attack damage characters deal a bit more damage. I would love to see that in the other Guild Quest phases. But with that said, it's another chance to use 10th Anniversary Ichigo, an amazing character for this Guild Quest phase, and probably going to be one of the easiest Guild Quest phases out there for you to potentially clear all 4 waves. Remember, right now, when it comes to the 600 million GQ that we do have access to, you only need to clear the first 5 waves for all the Orb Rewards. So if you do not own Ichigo and you don't clear all 4 extra waves, that's perfectly fine. You are still getting your normal orb income. Assuming at least you can beat the first 5 waves, right? So when it comes down, we're going to build Ichigo today. We're going to be going with this particular build. In this case, for Ichigo, it's better to stack the killer effect because he already has so much strong attack damage in the first place. I actually need to change the accessory to 30 SP real quick. So yeah, these 3 accessories are definitely the best thing that you can give him. And then when it comes to the soul traits, you can go 2 different builds. And we definitely might try that ourselves in today's video, where because he just does so much damage, especially if you at least have him 2 out of 5, you don't even need to give him that much recharge links. Instead, you can double down on strong attack damage and also full stamina. It's rare for us to do that, but when a character is as powerful as Ichigo, that is a play that you can do. So for example, what I could potentially do is change the Hikona link, for example, Kenpachi, which is offering full stamina and strong attack damage. I could use Kukaku, full stamina and strong attack damage, you know? And we might do that in the second half of the video when it comes to the soul traits. When it comes to our second character, Tendro is going to be our normal attack damage dealing unit. So with that, we're going full attack. Now, in a way, again, because Ichigo just does so much damage, you actually don't even need Tendro. I'm personally using him because he is still a team booster, he can do damage, and I personally now do have him max transcended thanks to our recent banner. But what I do know a lot of people are using, if we can actually see in the auto-play characters, is you can bring Masaki, or you can bring Neliel, the Kubo playable art. They are also team boosters, but also provide 20% more damage to enemies that are inflicted by a status element. So when Ichigo's pretty much doing most of the damage, you might actually be better off taking off Tendro and putting on Masaki, only if you are using Academy Shuhei. Academy Shuhei, like anytime we are using a mind character, is here for 2 reasons. The 20% strong attack damage buff, which by the way, does stack with Mugetsu, and then also 40% more damage. His build literally doesn't matter as long as he has the Mugetsu soul trait, you're golden. With that said, let's jump into it. Alright, let's see how it goes. So we do have Freeze Plus. Actually, hold on, I need to actually give... What's his name? We almost one-shot there. I need to give... We are doing crazy damage. I need to get... What's his name? Crap. Tendro. Immunity because he's not fully immune. But the damage is crazy. Again, it feels weird doing this much damage. You know, after playing a few months of GQ, since this character came out, we've had some good characters. Look at that. Easy first turn, 50 seconds. And that's considered a bad score, probably for Ichigo. But it feels weird being able to, like, one-shot a GQ wave almost with a character like this. And we aren't even going with the full, like, full stamina inside, you know? Let's SA3. SA2. Crazy damage of Ichigo here. I didn't even get time to even use my EX. So you might as well use it now. Not like it matters. SP boost should come back in a second. There we go. So super easily done. In this case, Tendro is constantly getting frozen. So again, that's why you're... Unless you want to give him freeze links, you're better off maybe just bringing Masaki or Neliel. Just to get that extra 20% damage on Ichigo. Because most of the time there, Tendro is just getting frozen and not really providing that, you know, extra damage. But first attempt, 50 seconds. We'll try that again. Maybe try and go for a new personal best for me. Right now, anything above 51 seconds will be better. So attempt number 2, here we go. I kind of want to start off with the SA3. If we maybe get a status proc straight away, we might be able to one-shot, but we might need to, again, put on that full stamina damage. Soul trait, you know? Let's use the EX, Soul Bomb, SA1. And then just in time, SA2. Into the 1. Unfortunately, don't kill there. Luckily, Tendro does finally do some damage. So we're looking at like 50 seconds here again. Let's try with the full stam and strong attack damage build, because that might be the play. If we can just like one-shot each wave, that would definitely be much better. Because again, we're just doing so much damage. If we could one-shot, be bad. So we've taken some damage. That's going to lower our damage up, but never mind. This is why it's good to have Tendro on the team. It heals us back up to full stamina. Not all the time do you appreciate the heal effects, but sometimes when they come in clutch, when it's used correctly, you do start to appreciate it. So this right now is wave 4. By far. Granted, I know I'm using a pretty good team. I have the main lead, Ichigo, and also Max Transcended Tendro. But again, Tendro, unironically, is replaceable. Right now with this team, he's not even best in slot, and we're still clearing super easy. That's because Turn Ichigo is the absolute goal. Amazing character. And if you missed him, he should be returning around December time, November, December. So with that said, let's try out some different links. Mostly I want to use Senkai Aizen, who if I haven't Max Transcend, I definitely will go ahead and do that right now for the sake of the video, because I can do that from the Senkaimon Exchange Shop. And then also Kukaki would probably be our next best character, because she provides 22% strong attack damage, and then also the 20% more damage at full stamina. These soul traits used to be, it's always like that in Guild Quest, right? You know, back when Nukem was the meta, it was always use an SP character, 2 normal attack damage characters, and go full recharge. Once the strong attack damage character gets too overpowered and he does so much damage, you're better off taking off those normal attack damage characters, boosting your main DPS, and then going with a build like this, for example. So I guess it's finally time for me to buy some Senkai Aizen. In this case, I'll need to buy 3. And hopefully it doesn't take too many rolls to get 500 SP. Didn't take that long, only like a 200,000 points. Literally less than 10 rolls will take it. So I guess right now we are going to go with this particular build. Let's see if it does change things. So it might be overkill if I decide to use my strong attack 3 straight away, but we should be able to one-shot, right? There you go, that's what you want to do. Can we group everyone up with the 1? Almost. Tendro actually one-shots, lovely. That's SA2. Don't inflict the status element there, which is kind of unfortunate, because again, that's the thing with this build, right? When you are going with a full stamina, you need to make sure you're one-shotting. We're doing pretty good here. Ironically, a worse score, but again, there's better potential with this team, or with this build of Ichigo. It's a build that can score higher, but you need to make sure you are one-shot in each phase, or each wave in particular. So it's much slower, but it's fun on the extra stages because you don't really care about how fast you clear these. Let's go with SA3. I think I hit. Barely hit the enemy there. SA1, and then a few more strong attacks. It's a lot slower on this part, but again, that's fine. Tendro was able to actually deal damage. I should probably give him freeze resistance, but like, it's kind of whatever. It's kind of whatever, but then again, he's not doing any damage, so I might as well give Tendro freeze resistance. So using the Rukia Soul trait, by giving him the bonus ability, we now have that freeze immunity, and that should hopefully allow us to, allow Tendro more so to deal a lot of damage, you know? So SA2 doesn't quite one-shot, this is where Tendro's going to come in. We should probably try using the SA1, almost one-shot there, but that's what Tendro again comes in for. SA3, oh look at that, that's good. So we're going to use our Sobom here. Use our EX. And then this one should be, again, around 50 seconds. I need to find a better layout, because right now we're getting around the same clear time. On to our next attempt. Here we go. SA2, not quite able to one-shot, but this is, again, why we have Tendro on the team. SA1. Tendro followed through. We need to really one-shot here, because this is going to be one of the slower parts. Unless, again, Tendro does kind of lock in. So right now, I kind of need the help from Tendro. Unfortunately, some enemies left over. So it doesn't seem like I'm quite able to get like the really high score using this team. Not sure if it is possible using Tendro. That extra 20% damage from Misaki would help out big time, truth be told. So I might just go back to the simple recharging full stand build. Just because it's a lot easier. Like I don't want to I don't want to be resetting that much to get like a 5-second score. I might in my own time. But I don't like resetting like heavy on videos. But this is a build that you can potentially work with if you do have Misaki. Unfortunately, took some damage, but Tendro's here to heal us back up to full stamina. My goal. My goal. I'm never going to replace him. I'm not going to use Misaki when I get up. Never. Never taking Tendro off the team. And there we go, we finished up. So, yeah, quite the easy phase in Guild Quest. Of course, if you do own Ichigo. Although, I guess we could try out Byakuya for the final run of the video. Because it was beatable last time we used Byakuya. But they have further increased the amount of HP they did this time. Not by that much, obviously. because it was quite a big jump last time. But let's just try it. Let's just try it. Why not? Then again, at this point in this particular run, we might very well be getting carried by a character like Tanjiro. Although, to be fair, this time around, I do have a simple team. This would definitely work. We actually can use Halibel. So I did recently pull her during the 10th anniversary. I'm not sure where exactly I got it. It wasn't on a ban, obviously. I think it was through summon tickets. So let's make sure to build her properly using a build like this. And then using soul traits like this, making sure that she is fully immune to freeze with this soul trait and also a bonus ability. And then this is how we're going to build Byakuya. With Byakuya, we don't need to give him the 200% resistance. I'll just make sure to basically stand in the middle. Now, with this team, we are not using Mugetsu, so we are losing that 20% strong attack damage. But the hope here is that our normal attack damage characters can more so deal more damage, especially again in the extra waves. And then also, I'm not using recharge soul traits. That might hurt us during a certain time. We'll see how it does go, but we should be fine. At least one would like to think so. Especially in my case, where I do have, you know, a well-built Tanjiro. I would like to think these characters can be somewhat, not common to a certain extent, but like, oh, damn, we got frozen hella quick. Can we get back at the full stamina? Nah, probably worth resetting. But as I was saying, Tanjiro has been available in a lot of banners, to be fair, so hopefully you do have him. I don't think there's been many opportunities to summon for Halibel, but she is a premium character, so there's that, you know? So in my case, let's SA2. Really good damage. That's when the normal attack damage characters lock in. Fortunately for us, SA3 comes back in time. SA1, then use R2. I'm going to save the EX ability, which does provide shields when we get into the extra waves, because I want them expiring once we get into the extra stage, you know? Unfortunately, though, it looks like Tanjiro at least has taken some damage. Right now, we are in the final boss. We do at least provide weakening and paralysis or protection for our team. Let's go up here. SA1. And there we go. Really good damage from Tanjiro and also Halibel. Not sure what's going to be replicated, if you can replicate this team. If you don't have a max on Tanjiro, we'll see how it does go, though. Let's just use our EX now for that guaranteed barriers, so our team stays protected. SA3 into the 1. They are paralyzed. We now lose a bit of damage from the SP boost, but probably it does seem like you need to at least have an Ichigo to beat this. Fortunately, again, it's a 10th family character. You should hopefully have him. But yeah, this is a lot more tougher without Ichigo. And unfortunately, I got paralyzed too. Oh, I forgot I had my soul bomb. I guess we can use it now. At least you can get to like the final boss for the most part. But remember, if you're just going for the orbs, you only have to go to the first 5 waves. The extra stages are basically bonuses now at this point. At least during this week. Next week, you have to at least clear 2 extra waves. But with that said, that's the video for today, going over this phase of Guild Quest. Let me know what characters and teams you lads did use in the comments below. Did anyone find success using a non-Ichigo team? If you did use Ichigo, though, let me know what score you did get. I'll see you lads next time. Take care, and peace.